And I finally found my battery, man. This was a lot where I just changed out the stairs. So the supporting beams, the supporting wood or structure for the stairs, I just changed those out. All right, 3 steps I changed so you can see the tags real good. So I changed out this supporting structure for the stairs, this right side, this left side, and then I changed 3 stairs. 1, 2, 3. These two, these two right here, these two pieces of wood, I kept on and I wedged in there and they fit. So I'll keep those in there for now. But doing. I didn't finish screwing in the stairs, the actual platforms for the stairs, because I ran out of battery for my drill bit. All right, so I need to finish what I started. Okay, I ran out of battery for my drill bit, and now I found my drill bit. Okay, somebody in the comments was like, "Don't buy groceries until," and the wife finds that battery for that drill, and she found it. She went and got it. I ain't gonna lie. That's a funny comment. Somebody in the comments was like, "Don't buy groceries until the wife finds that battery for that drill." And I didn't see it. She saw it. That's the funny part. She saw it and went and found that battery. I didn't see that comment, but she told me about it after she went and found that battery. So that's funny. Now that I know that. But yeah, we gotta finish these stairs right here. So we gotta finish these stairs right here. All right. And we pretty much just changed the stairs. We changed this platform. So we changed this platform 1, 2, 3, and then we changed the outside platforms, and then we screwed them to these old posts right here. But we need to just change the stairs because the stairs broke up. They broke up real bad, and we couldn't go up and down the stairs. So right now, this is just about just nailing in the wooden platform. Like this is not crazy. All right, so we got a good battery. That piece just nailed in there. All right, with that piece nailed in there, now I can take the drill bit and just go in to. I can go into the wood without worrying about this piece of wood shifting around. I can go in and drill my holes where they need to go. How- However many pieces I want to drill it in. Okay. All right, so this is cool, man. I'm happy with the results. I didn't know anything about carpentry before this. I'm not saying it like, hey, I know what I'm doing now. I definitely don't. I definitely don't know what I'm doing now, but I got a job done. So I replaced some stairs and got a job done real fast, quick, fast, and in a hurry. I didn't have the time, money, resources to just call somebody to come and fix these stairs, this deck on a Sunday, on a holiday weekend. And I was able to go to the store, Home Depot mainly, and just go get the pieces that I needed. And I told them to cut these pieces to the length that I wanted them to cut them. I said, man, cut these pieces to this length, and then they cut it down for free. So I bought the long piece of wood and then just told him I took my measurements and I was like, man, cut these. I need 3 of these pieces right here to this length, and they cut it down for free. So I appreciate that convenience. Going to a place like Home Depot and just they cut that down for you for free. So I like that. And I'm not sitting here trying to push any brands like I'm getting paid from any brand, but yeah, Home Depot is good and convenient for that. They'll cut your pieces down. I don't know about Lowe's. I don't ever go to Lowe's really for much. So I don't know how they operate, but they do the same thing. That's a blessing. That's convenience, man. For fellas like me that don't have a full setup for cutting down and measuring the wood and what you, what you need. Okay. So this top step is done. Let's test it out. I was just on a live not too long ago, man. I ran out of battery for my drill bit, but this step is real good. It's solid. Testing this out. Yeah, that's a solid step right now. Okay, so this step it's not on there. All right, so we get ready to put this step on there. Like this one it's not really, it's not really on there. We got to put that to what we need. You know, we still building. We still building. Okay, doing this the backyard lumberjack way. So I didn't really take any real measurements like I'm a full carpenter because I'm not a full carpenter. I'm not cosplaying as a carpenter. This is not my trade at all. I'm just doing what I need to do to get the job done, man. Family needs to be able to go up and down these steps regularly, and the steps broke this weekend. Okay? So these pieces right here, these were my steps right here. These were my steps, and they broke. They broke off. Look at these pieces. Broke off all stupid. But you can see how wet these pieces were. They were just sitting in wet environments. And I changed something so it's not setting in wet environments. And you can see like all this wood just rotting away, just sitting in wet environments. You see all that rotting wood? I'm able to just peel off that rotting wood. That's not good. So I changed it to where it's sitting on brick, man. All right. And again, I'm not a carpenter by trade. All right. Just a man that, just wants to look out for his family, doing the rightful thing by his wife and kids, man, on the 4th of July weekend, on the 250th birthday of the United States of America, yeah, All right. So while I'm over here fixing this, y'all get to look at the good old 50 states. You feel me? Okay. All right. So we're gonna get some more screws in there. We're gonna get some more deck mates in there while we fix these up. The good old US of A. All right. We got some holes drilled. At least one hole drill to set that step. We're gonna drill one hole to set that step. So I put those other drill holes in there because that thing's liable to shift around for sure. Now I don't want to play games with my holes. Make sure everything's good. Bingo. Now we don't have any shifting. All right. Now this ain't lifting up. Now, let's put drill all the holes. Should we do 3 or 4 per step? I think 3 is sufficient. 3 is sufficient. We don't need to go too crazy. 3 is sufficient. That step is not going anywhere with three screws in it at all. At all. Okay. Let's put our start bit back on there. There you go. All right. So what we need? 5 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 screws. We got one in there already on that right side. Right? Let's get to work with the rest of these. Come on now. Bingo. All right, let's get it. Come on, put it in there. This is man work. This is man of the house work. This is the wife don't need to call nobody else. I got it. I can work. Cause I ain't gonna lie, I get mad than a mother, man. The wife like, yo, we need to call such and such to come fix this. Who are you talking to? What are you talking about? Maybe we should call such and such to come fix this. Yeah. As much as I can afford this type of dude I might ever become, it's still gonna be certain things that I'm gonna be like, man, watch your mouth. Like that, what you mean? We gonna call you, we're not calling you nothing. We're not calling we're not calling what no, no. Don't even fix your face to finish that sentence. I got it. There's certain things that I need to be able to get done as the man. Even if it's not even time efficient, cost efficient, time efficient, there's certain things you're not just gonna call somebody and then yeah, they around fixing what needs to get fixed. Yeah. Such and such came and fixed your plumbing while you wasn't home. Hell, hell no. No, no, sir. I'm not doing that. Yeah. So I'm sitting on these. I think I'm able to get through these okay. So I'll see if I can get through these without having to come back through and reset the drawer hole. See, this is old wood right here. See if I can get through this old wood and reuse old wood for this one step. That's what that is right there. Let's see if we can reuse the wood from this one step. That's what we're trying to do. This one step was going to be a little bit more problematic and time consuming and more expensive step to fix. This one step next to this post. So I was definitely going to have to grab the handsaw right here. I was definitely going to have to grab the handsaw and do some measurements because I don't have an electric saw that's going to be able to cut the measurements around this post that I needed to cut. So we'll see if we can get through and just reuse this until I'm able to replace all the wood for the whole deck. All right, so far so good. So far so good. We'll see. I don't like that. I don't like to drill. Oh, no, I don't like that screw. That screw, that was a nasty screw right there. That one's cool. The first one was cool. The third one was cool. The second one was a nasty screw right there. This one feel like it's gonna be a good. Got two screws. There we go. All right. So far, so good. I like it. I like it. I like it. It's going good. It's going smooth. Let's see what we talking about. Okay. Specular Richie, man. Think it's all yellow wood. All right. All right. Yellow wood. I don't know what yellow wood. Okay. Necessary in the father's Father of intervention. No, necessity is the father of intervention for sure. For sure, we figure it out when we have to get something done. We need to get something done. We get it done. All right, Speculum Richie, the mechanic, man. I appreciate you, man. You one of the ones, man. You are here all the time, man, and giving good information and good introspection. Too short. What you doing? So I'm fixing the steps, man. All right, these steps had to get replaced. So this step is the only step that I'm putting the old wood on because I don't have a replacement from the new wood that fits on here. And even with the new wood, I got one piece that was split. And maybe I shouldn't have took this one. You see that right there? You can kind of see through it right there. Maybe I shouldn't have took that one. I paid for it, but maybe I shouldn't have took it because they cut a board and they cut it. You see how far that split go down? All right, and I paid for it, and that split goes down almost the whole length of the board. But it was one piece, and they cut two pieces off it. So those two pieces from the steps right there came off of one board. But I didn't know if I can refuse this one piece, like because it came from the same board. So I didn't know. So I bought the whole board, and I was like, all right, whatever, F it. But it was all one piece. So it was this board and those two steps that all came from one board. And I was like, I didn't know if I could refuse this board, but I don't like it. So I'm probably gonna end up replacing it. But to me, that's a nasty board right there. That's a nasty board. I'll put it on there and I'll end up screwing it in different places so it doesn't continue to split more. But that's to me right now, that's a nasty piece of wood right now. Pause. That's nasty wood right there. But yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. But it is what it is. So we're gonna drill some more holes in this other side right here. We're gonna finish the deck, man. We're gonna finish. I mean, not the deck, but we're gonna finish the, the deck stairs. We're gonna finish the job, man. Finish the job. Somebody likes to, that's somebody's slogan right there. Somebody like to say that. If you know, you know. Finish the job. Like that. Why did I stuff through that wood that way? Put on put on faster speed. Okay. Now we're cooking with oil. Okay. Yeah, now we're cooking with oil. Gotta put on a faster speed. Now with this older piece of wood, I feel the need to put more screws in there. So I'm gonna instead of three on each side, I want to do six on each side, just so that I make sure that this piece goes all the way through and stays on there because we got splits in here. This is old wood. I just want to make sure. I'm not here to play games. Okay, so we're gonna reinforce this right here. Ooh, that drill bit is hot. And again, I'm not a professional. Just a man getting it done. Just a dad doing dad things on a Sunday, day after 4th of July, man. I spent my fourth out there in the garden, man. Where I, if I had I wouldn't rather spend it any other place, man. That's why I love the D, man. And for me, it's not about like refuge from the family and like a place to get solace from the family. For me, it's more about building our future. That's why I spend so much time in the garden. It's more about seeing our vision for our future and what we're building here. And for me, I'm trying to the basis of what a lot of what I'm doing is building food, food, uh, building building a resistance against like food deserts and food like terrible foods out there. I don't want to be victim to price gouging, terrible foods, the government being able to say, You know, this is all you got. This is you got to eat these type of foods, and just giving us food that we don't know anything about. I'd rather stick to healthy foods, organic foods. Everything I grow is organic. I don't put a single pesticide in anything that I grow. And if you stay on this live, I'll take a walk back here and show you what I'm talking about. So this year, which I haven't been doing other years, but this year we're gonna be doing canning. So we've been doing freezing and making hot sauces and making, you know, certain things and being able to keep certain vegetables, like Indian corn, glass young corn, but we haven't been running the canning. So I can, oh, look at this step, look at that, nice. So everything so far so good. Look at that. Oh, step is good. Step is good. Step is good. Step is good. All right. You know, only thing we have this one step left. It's one last step. Okay, we got one last step, and then we're good for another while. All right, all right. This is just a quick fix for the weekend, and we're good for another while. Somebody was telling me like, man, you need to do it the right way. There was a lot of comments and people like, man, this guy's a clown. You don't know what he's doing. Blah 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 blah. And call it what you want to call it. Be that as it may, I'm not a professional. I'm not a carpenter by trade, and I'm not claiming to be. That's that's not what this channel or live was about. It just, as a man, getting it done, getting it done. You know, this channel is backyard lumberjack. If I was a professional lumberjack, I wouldn't name this channel backyard lumberjack. Just wouldn't make sense. So by the channel name, backyard lumberjack, is like I'm unprofessional, trying to do certain things and getting it done the best way I see fit, the best way I know how, and like I said, getting it done regardless. Okay. Ooh, ooh, that drill bit is hot. Damn. Let's go on in there. I don't want to move this step because right now I would drill the other side, but while it's while it's in place and while I'm sitting on it before it actually moves, I want to put these screws in there. Yeah, it's not as hot, yo. So it's been super hot lately. So I haven't been out here cutting the wood. So I'm usually out here man, with the chainsaw cutting wood, out here splitting wood with the axe, getting to it. And I got good news. Oh, my truck, my battery died again. Battery died again. All right, so I got the other battery on the charger. It's all good. So while the other battery's on the charger, and I'm going to switch up in a second, I want to take the time to let y'all know I finally got my first sale of wood, first sale of firewood. All right, so I've been out here cutting firewood. I've been cutting it up with the axe, splitting rounds, and I also been out here with my axe. So I've been having like my preferences between like the Fisker's axe and different axes. And I finally had somebody like drive by and they saw me out here splitting wood and they saw the wood stacked on pallets and they stopped and it's not even a street that you can even pull over and it has a side thing like a side way to pull over. There's nowhere to pull over. But regardless, they put their hazards on and was like, F it, pulled over. Hey, man, they waiting to see me outside. Like, hey, man, you selling that wood right there? It's like, all right, yeah, nah, I'm selling wood. Okay, yeah, let's go. What do you mean? How, how much you selling that wood? How much can I get that much wood for? How much? In my head, I'm like, how much is a cord of wood? I've been stacking wood because it's hard just say like you're first getting into selling wood and you have no measurement, no frame of reference to say how much wood should cost, and how you have a split and so on and so forth. So all the wood that I got it for free. So it's all about like the time that I've been putting into it, the effort I've been putting into it, but also what is the market rate for a cord of wood. So I've been stacking what I see in my mind as a cord of wood, and I know the measurements, 4 by 4 by 8 for a cord of wood, but I've been stacking it up, and I can show you in a second how I've been stacking it up. And I'm like, all right, so that was my frame of reference. I'm like, all right, so that's a cord of wood is what I see stacked right there, and I have 4 cords of wood stacked, and but I also had another like a cord or so, give or take, depending on how you're measuring it, and so on and so forth, stacked on the side on some pallets. And I'm like, all right, well, in my mind, he asked me, he said, it was him and his wife, how much you want for all that wood right there? And I'm on a spot. So it's not like I got time to think about it. So I'm like, that right there. And my thing was like, okay, what I saw was maybe like a half a cord or like 3/4 of a cord if I had to really gauge. But it's not dry, so it's wet wood. And I made sure I gave the disclaimer and I said, it's not fully dry wood. So I just want you to know it's not fully dry. So it's good and it's hardwood, but it's not fully dry, just so you know. And really they weren't really worried about that because their reason for uh, buying it was like they were trying to cook with it. They're from South America. They're like, no, it's okay. We burn the wood, and then when it turns to coals, then they put it under the food and they start cooking with it after it turns to coals. And like they're not worried about it being wet wood. They weren't familiar with the cost of wet wood versus dry wood. So I'm like, if they didn't care, why should I care? So I sold it to them. So we sold our first half cord of wood for $200. So I just want to let everybody know that, and that was good. That was good for the channel and just what I'm doing, and it just gave me like more of validation for what I'm doing, and getting all this wood and cutting all this wood and stacking all this wood. Not only are we going to be able to use it for heating our home and being able to cook with it, but other people find it valuable too. And as I'm outside driving around, for work and whatever I do, I see other people that also find it very valuable. They like wood and dry wood. So seasoned wood has a lot of value. It's an energy source that people find very valuable. So I definitely want to be someone who can provide value to other people. So I think that's a source for a business moving forward. So I made my first $200 maybe about 3 weeks ago and selling a half cord of wood, even though it wasn't fully dry, but somebody found value in it. They saw what I had and they offered, and I gave them a price, and they didn't even try to negotiate it. They bought it right away. They found value in what I did and what I made and provided. So I want to continue to do what I was doing. I want to continue to stack that wood and have it on display. So when people drive by, they see the wood and they want the wood. And at our local grocery stores, they're charging for like a bundle like this, maybe like a bundle like this, they're charging $10. So for me saying that, something that was like a half a cord for $200, that type of pricing, they're getting way more than their money's worth, as far, in relation to what they can get from the local grocery store. And for somebody that doesn't care about the wood being wet per se, they'll burn it, and when it turns to coals, that's when they need it. And if that's their mind frame, that's their mind frame. Whatever, give the the customer is the person paying you, so you give them what they want. If they want to burn wet wood, let them burn wet wood. It is what it is. So I'm just elated to let everybody know that I finally made my first sale on selling the wood that I got, and I've been chopping down and putting a lot of effort into breaking down and chopping it up. And yeah, so we're gonna keep doing that and moving forward. But that put some wind in my sails as far as what I'm doing, and helped me not feel like, is this really worth it or not? Outside of, we're going to burn it for ourselves to heat the home. But outside of that, are people, do I feel validated in people wanting this product and wanting to buy it? I know people want to buy it because people are buying it wet. So buying it dry and seasoned, it's going to fly off the shelf. So right now, my mindset is more on how can I cut it? How can I source it for free? How can I cut it? And then where am I going to store it long term so that people can come and get this and I can deliver it to them? Because that person that came and picked it up and bought it for $200, they came and picked it up and took it from my property and put it on their truck, and they took several loads. So they had to come and get it and load it themselves. So that $200 was more of like a blessing to me than I'm gonna say more to them. But moving forward, I definitely want to find a way to be able to deliver the product to the customer where it's like I can stack it on somewhere and I can take it off and just drop it and then they can use it from where I drop it at. So that's why I need to find out more of the logistics on that. But yeah, let's finish this. We're almost done. Almost done here. Let me put this new battery on. We got one more battery. We just finished this battery. Let's put a new battery on here. I got a battery on the charger. All right. So got a new battery. Okay. This battery's been on the charger. Good, good to go. All right, let's do it. Let's finish this up. Oh, we got one sticking out right there. Okay. We're charged up now. Charged up, ready to finish. And we're gonna check the comments in the section, man. I haven't been really checking the comments to see what people are talking about. Because that's important. Somebody might have some valuable information. All right, let's see what we're talking about. Okay. Let's see. Looks better than it did. Are you going to stain the steps? Maybe. Not probably not likely because everything needs to be redone. All right. Let's see. Too sure. What are you doing? All right. Take it back. It's looking good. That's a good price for unseasoned hardwood. They usually go for 150 to 250 for half a cord. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Kyle, man. Kyle, I appreciate you, man. I didn't know what to charge, man. And I was like, he stopped. And he stopped with his wife. And I was outside with my wife and kids. And then he stopped. They were like in a pickup truck and they had threw their hazards on. Like, stop. Say, hey, man, just wanted to introduce myself. I'm one of your neighbors around the corner. Just wanted to introduce myself. I was wondering, like, are you selling any of this wood right here? And I was like, yeah, I mean, like, what you trying to buy? Like, what you in the market for? I wasn't expecting this because I wasn't advertising wood for sale at the time. I'm just trying to cut wood so that we can burn wood so that we're having enough wood to burn for the winter into the next season. And then he was like, what are you charging for it? He's like, what you want for that right there? And hmm. Took me maybe about 10 seconds. I'm like, that right there? He's like, yeah. I'm like, you want that right there? And I'm sitting there trying to think. I'm trying to think. I'm like trying to buy myself some time. You want that right there? That amount right there? Yeah, that right there? That right there? You want all that right there? Sure. You sure you want all that right there? It's wet though. It's not fully dry. I just want to let you know. Burning wet wood is not the most efficient. I just want to let you know so that you know that what you're buying, I want you to understand the product that you're buying. It's hardwood, it's good wood, but it's not the most efficient to burn if you burn it right now. He's like, nah, we burn wood. I'm from South America. We burn wood and we cook the food, and then they show me pictures of how they like to cook and stuff. They burn it, and then when it turns to cold, they move it over and put it under the grate in the food, and then they start to cook with it once it turns to cold. And I'm like, all right, look, they seem convinced, and they seem like they know what they're talking about. I'm like, all right, look, I'm thinking about, all right, I split all this by hand. I'm not splitting it by machine. I don't have a hydraulic splitter or any of that. And I'm just like, I'm gauging like half a cord, a little bit more than half a cord, probably. But I'm like, it's wet. So I'm like, and you can have it for $200. If they talked me down, I might have took less. I might have took less, but they didn't negotiate. I'm like, man, $200 you can take it, man. Take it, 200 bucks, man. $200 you can have it all, man. And I was half expecting them to negotiate, and they didn't negotiate. He talked to his wife. He started talking Spanish. He talking to her. She talked to him, and they were like, "We'll take it. We'll take it." To me, I was thinking in my mind, they probably looking at what they're seeing at the grocery stores for $10. You get like a bundle like this for $10. So they seeing what I'm offering them, like, oh, this is if we need that. Like that's they're getting more than their money's worth. So and they asked me, and it was like how much does this stuff go for? And I told them, I was like, people sell it by cores, half cores. It depends. If people start selling it by smaller amounts. I didn't try to cheat them. I kept it real, and I was just like, depending on how much you're buying, you get it cheaper. The more you buy, the more you get for your money. And I just wanted to be as transparent as possible. I didn't want to cheat them. I'm not that type of person. So I kept it real. I was 100%, and I just let them know. I'm like, the more you buy, the more you get, and letting them know. I'm like, you see back there, and I showed them. I had cords stacked, but they're just not dry. They're just not seasoned. And I'm like, I plan on selling those for 400 or maybe 450, depending on if I can deliver them to people, and that's the cost of it. So I'm just letting them know. And then I was like, that what you see right there, $200. It might have been like three. It might have been like three-quarters of a cord, and he said okay. He discussed it with his wife. They start speaking back and forth, start speaking Spanish, and they eventually said okay. They bought it. He gave me half the money right there, and then when they came to pick it up, they gave the other half of the money, and they paid for it. So I'm like, all right, they paid. We delivered. Deal done. So that was my first sale of wood, man. I'm happy, man. So I think moving forward, we're gonna do more selling wood, and we got the wood for free. It's just I had to process the wood on my own. So let's put this last step on. I just want to tell that story. One screw. Two, three, four, five. I think I'm gonna put 6 screws in there because this wood is split. So because this one is split, I'm gonna put extra screws in here just so that this wood doesn't continue to split anymore and this holds up. So we're just gonna throw a few extra screws in there, which I don't care. I got the screws. If I got the screws, I'll put it in there. I just don't want this wood to split any more than it is right there. So we're gonna stop that wood from splitting, right? Let's do it. We got a bunch of screws, lifetime warranty. We got a bunch. So let's use them. We're not we're not going to shortchange the screws and let somebody get injured because we don't want to put an extra screw in. That's silly. All right, now come on, we're almost done. Getting there. Four more. Four more. Uh-huh. Last one. Donezo. Look at that. Look at that. Good to go. This feels solid. This feels more solid than before it broke. This feels extra solid. God dang. Before it broke, it did not feel this solid. It didn't feel this solid before it broke. This feels extra solid. These stuff are good. Look at that. Look at that, boys. Look at that. Look at that. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah, I'm happy. These are good. These are going to hold up for quite some time right now. You know, these are just replacements until I get the whole deck redone. This is not like me calling this a refurbish or a remodel. That's not what this is. I'm just fixing the steps so that we can go up and down the steps until the whole deck gets redone. So this is just for now. So don't get this misconstrued as like I'm thinking like I'm an expert and I just fix the house. Like the house is good. Like, no, this is just for now. This is just a momentary fix until we get this side of the house redone. And we're gonna be doing more remodeling, adding on to the house, so on and so forth. We got a lot to do, but yeah. Let's see what we talking about in the comments because a lot of people that take it back. It's looking good. Okay, so for those that didn't know what I was talking about, you see this wood right here? I had a bunch of wood here, and they see somebody was riding by and seen all that wood stacked. Stacked. It was stacked all the way up to here. And they seen all that wood stacked all the way up there. And they seen it on all these pallets right there. And that's when they was like, "Oh, what are you selling that for, my man? What are you selling that for?" And that's what I offered them a price. It's like, man, 200, man. So that's what that was about. But I'll show y'all. Take a walk to the back. We still got more wood to chop. We still got a lot more wood to chop. Still got a lot more wood to get to. But I'll take y'all to the back. And I had a cord fall over. I was moving it with the forklift and had one fall over. It was leaning, so I'm restacking that one. But we still got more. We still got more cords right there. See them cords stacked right there like that. All right. So I got those stacked right there, and they're in pallets, and I can move those as pallets. But yeah, one fell over. I was moving them, and one fell over. So it is what it is. I got to restack it. So this one right here fell over as I was moving it. I got to restack that one. And cutting the firewood is free workout, so it's good for you money-wise. Yeah, and for your health. For sure, for sure. So I'm going to restack that one right there. All right. So I just want y'all to see. So this is my normal backyard enclosure. We got fruit trees, fruit shrubs, and everything back here. All right. Apples on trees, raspberries, squash. We got a lot of stuff growing back here. All right. But I just made a new enclosure back here. I know for people that aren't into growing, tune off. I'm just showing y'all. All right. There, that look like toothpicks right there, right? You see all those sticks? Took me 2 weeks, no, 3 weeks. I ain't gonna lie, 3 weeks. It took me about 3 weeks to make this right here. All right, let me just get up in here, open this up. It took me about 3 weeks to get done. All right, look at this right here. I'm showing y'all. All right, I can show y'all how to do it from start to finish because I've been doing this for years and I've been using this. Trying to open this damn enclosure. Okay, here we go. From start to finish, right? Look at this. All right, y'all see this right here? So this looks like this is like professional, like university level gardening right here. You need a master's degree, all right, in gardening to be able to do this. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. I've been growing for years, but I'm learning. So you see the little steaks and I would chop down to smaller steaks. This row right here on the right, way more efficient than I did the one on the left. So this is the first row that I did, and I'll walk down here and show y'all. All right. So we got tomatoes, peppers, basil. I mean, that's it for the most part. I mean, I got some squash and stuff out here, but it didn't start coming in yet for the most part. All right. So we got some baby squash out here. Some more baby until some of that stuff starts growing in. And this is oh no, what just happened? Okay. If y'all can still hear me, So this is more succession planting. All right. So tomatoes in the back, peppers in the front, but y'all can see what's going on right here. All this tomatoes right here, basil, peppers, peppers. All right. All this tomato and everything is staked up, staked up. All right. You see that right there? Those yellow flowers. Flowers mean tomatoes. All right. We got basil right there. Plenty of basil. Basil. All right. And everything is stocked up. All right. This is how we do it. All right. This is back to Eden gardening method. Peppers. All right. We got peppers down there. The wife just cut these down. And we, that's a whole nother story right there. That's a whole nother story. But we got tomatoes. And you see the tomatoes are trellis. Tomatoes are trellis to our stakes right here. All right. Because these are indeterminate tomatoes, which mean they can grow as high as 10 feet tall. All right, let's see. Wow, that's a huge enclosure. How do you preserve all that food you grow? We're going to be doing canning this year. So between freezing and canning, all right. I never learned canning with the peppers. We've been doing mostly hot peppers and making hot sauce. And the hot sauce is easy to preserve. All right. So we've been doing bottles and bottles and bottles of hot sauce and unfiltered hot sauce. If you're not familiar with filtered versus unfiltered, we've been canning or bottling a ton of hot sauce that is unfiltered, and that's my favorite hot sauce. After eating that type of hot sauce, I wouldn't want any other hot sauce. But so, like I said, so these right here, why trellising and staking the peppers in the front is because these are all bell peppers. The ones in the front are all bell peppers. Bell peppers or sweet peppers. They're not all bell, but half of them are bell peppers, half of them are just other sweet peppers that are of a different variety. But they will bend over and they'll break the stem once they start getting to a certain weight. So you need to trellis those. The peppers that are on this side right here are all hot peppers. So they're ghost peppers, California reapers, Italian spicy, not Italian, but Thai spicy peppers, jalapenos, and so on and so forth. But yeah, this side is just basil, tomatoes, peppers, and I redid the arborist mulch on this right here this morning too. So we got it. You see, we got peppers right here, a ton of peppers, tomatoes. Let's see, what we got. We got anything on here? Some of these got some peppers on there already. I saw. Oh, there we go. Let's. You can see right here. We got some peppers on there already. Some of these have peppers on them already. You can see some peppers growing right here, and some of them are flowering. So it is what it is. We got some peppers growing right here. You can see some Thai spicy peppers right here. So the Thai spicy peppers are more for our hot sauces. All right. So that's what that is. But as far as like the tomatoes, we're gonna be doing a lot of canning. We do a lot of pizza and tomato sauces for certain dishes. So we'll be doing a lot of canning to where we don't need to freeze or keep everything at a certain temperature. So if we ever run out of electricity or the grid goes down, we're good. It doesn't matter. Even though we have a backup generator, we don't have to worry about that. All right. So we have a backup generator regardless, which that's a big help because we don't really miss a beat when electricity goes out because we have well water, and because we have well water, we're required to really have a backup generator so that our water doesn't stop running if electricity goes down. So that's a good thing. But regardless of that, I mean, we're more focused on being regenerative and just self-sustainability and what makes the most sense as far as growing food. And these tomatoes and stuff grow fast. Like I said, the tomatoes on this right hand side, I did a lot better than I did this side. So this side was just like a test experiment, and then this side I tightened up on what makes sense, and I got a little bit smarter as far as why and how to plant them. That's why this one looks a lot cleaner, a lot neater, a lot more efficient. So the tomatoes are in the back. And that's why the spikes or stakes are a lot taller because they can get as high as 10 feet tall. They're all indeterminate tomatoes, and in the front, these are predominantly bell peppers, which need to be staked. So the hot peppers don't, for the most part, because the hot peppers, the stems can sustain those and hold those, but the bell peppers, the stems will bend over and break, depending on if you get a good storm. Those bell peppers weigh so much that they can break the stems. So that's what's going on. I used to hydrate all my peppers and cherries, tomato. Okay. So look, another thing is I don't water back here. So for those of you that are like, okay, this might be a goal for you, and you're wondering like, all right, where do you start? How do you do it? I also, this looks a certain way, but there's zero hydration. There's no drip irrigation. You don't see any hoses. You don't see anything that leads you to believe that I'm hydrating this stuff in any particular way. This is a back to eating garden method, and I do zero hydration. And I'll show you. You see how far my house is from over there? My house is way over there, but look over here. Now, I grow food by my house, but my house is way over there, and I'm way over here. The most efficient stuff on the property, the best food, the most efficient stuff on the property that's growing is super far from the house. And I'm not hydrating anything. I have zero irrigation, zero drip irrigation or anything, and I don't hydrate any of this stuff. This is a back to eating garden method, and tap in more. If you got any questions, tap in, and I'll show you how I do it. I don't hydrate anything. This hydrates itself. Nature takes care of this. That's it. That's all. Tapping out. Backyard Lumberjack. I'll see you on the next one. I appreciate y'all for tuning